Whoa! It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. Sober Wednesday. Sober Wednesday. Oh boy, aren't we blessed? Aren't we blessed? This beautiful, beautiful summer Wednesday, the final Wednesday of June. Just like that, right? Final Wednesday of June. Well, wait for someone to pull in real quick, and we'll get with the serenity prayer. I don't think this is straight. Is that? There you are, catching it live. There we go. I think that's straight. What's going on, Smokey McPot? Who was the first commenter there? Drowning Monday. Patrick M. All right. Massachusetts in the house. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Those of you who are familiar with this Wednesday live stream, this is dedicated to those who suffer so that they know there's a solution. Those who may be having suicidal thoughts, mental health issues, alcoholism, drug addiction, sex addiction, trauma addiction, just whatever's getting between you and God, right? At the end of the day, most of our problems, what's up, Jason? Most of our problems stem from us dwelling on what gets between us and God versus getting with God. So with that said, we will move into it. So this episode of Sober Wednesdays dedicated to my friend Nick up in Montana. He died last night in a freak traffic accident in his driveway. So this one's for you, Nick. My brother, Nick, knew me in the heyday of, dude, that dude seen me in rare form. Wherever you are, Nick, we are blessed. We are blessed. Rest in peace, my brother. And if his family's out there, Nick was loved. Nick really was loved by a lot of people and a lot of lives he touched. So with that said, it's, whenever someone passes, you can mourn their death by celebrating life, man, right? We're only here to, all we got is today, man. All we got's today. So we got to make the most of it and just keep an eye on the goats. And be here now, baby. Be here now. So with that said, I think I did the preamble. This is dedicated to those who suffer so that they can find a solution. And with that said, I read chapter 5, how it works, from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. This is not an AA meeting, not affiliated with AA in any way. We're not anonymous here, but I do think that how it works is applicable to most of life's troubles, or removing what is getting between you and God, cleansing what is between you and getting between you and God, right? Where you can have a fruitful life, maximizing your abundance and your grace and being of service to others, right? It's always about being of service to others. So let's read how it works. Chapter 5 of the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They're not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They're naturally incapable of developing and grasping a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we're like now. If you've decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all of our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order!" I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we're willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter of the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. C, that God could and would if he were sought. There you have it. There you have it. A little simple amen. Genghis Khan Jr. Little simple program, right? Aren't we the lucky ones, dude? It doesn't even matter where you are in the spectrum of it. If you're seeking to get sober, if you're wondering to get sober, if you're here right now, there's 28 of us right now. We are the lucky ones. We really are lucky people seeking something greater than ourselves, right? And the interesting thing is the seeking of what is greater than ourselves is a super selfish act, right? Like the duality of it all. Selfishness through selflessness. The selfishness of selflessness. And, you know, I was listening to the latest Neil Kramer download today. And, you know, talking about like, what is free will, right? What is free will? Manchester, UK, England in the house. And it basically comes down to free will is like, do you want to spend eternity with God or not? Like this, like simplicity of there's one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now, right? Do you want to spend eternity with God or not? That's the big question. That's the secret. That's the whole thing, right? And And I think about it how, like, even if you think you know the answer, you just might not really even know what that means. Spending eternity with God, man. And how easy it is to distract yourself in this life with all sorts of stuff, right? Drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, drama, trouble. And then you think about, like, the person who suffers from mental illness. Like, are they really crazy, dude? Or is they just overwhelmed by the simplicity of the eternal choice? Then you think about the suicidal person who just doesn't want to do, that's really not wanting to do the work, really. Maybe it's a little bit of mental health, but it's really just trying to take the shortcut around the corner, right? To get back to God. Like, I'm just gonna get out, but that's not why we came here, right? We did come here to learn about what we are. That's the whole point of, like, what we are. That's why this little 2-page things, the steps, how it works, is so important. I mean, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. That's pretty wild, right? Admit to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. That's some deep, deep stuff, man, because that admitting that thing is where all the good stuff lies. That's the interesting twist about, again, the duality of this life. Is it's all our wrongs that get us to the rights, man, because that's where the real risk was taken, dude. The real risk-reward ratio was taken. You know, I think on a certain level, if you kind of fall into any of these categories of trying to get what is blocking you from God out of the way, and you're like a hero, warrior, a truly profound entity in this human existence, because there's just so much distraction. There's so many things that could distract you. Far Out Aliens, thank you. Appreciate the 5s. Lots of 5s. And there's so many things that could distract you, right? Simple things, just the goats running across the field, flowers, love, crack cocaine, Budweisers, Trulias, White Claws, pills, sunsets. All of these things, man, all of these things can block you from God, right? Because they're really just these little slivers of the infinite potential of it all, right? And that's why, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we practiced these principles in all of our affairs and carried our message to the alcoholic who suffers, right? Isn't that really it? Don't get stuck in a single sliver of God when there's just the abundance all around you. And I think it's pretty easy to do. It's funny, like thinking about it, like my friend Nick who passed away, right? Man, like, that dude saw me in the heyday of drugs, fear and loathing and style, just drugs and chaos and madness, and like, but it was that thing, like, we were definitely in the sweet spot of it, right? We used to go to these crazy hot springs and Idaho and just all this stuff we used to do. And you see that like you wouldn't want that not to have occurred, right? But you can't stay there forever. And I think that's one of the traps of pleasure, right? You can't stay there forever. And that, I think that's where like people get jammed up in sobriety too, right? Like it's when it's going good is when the danger's at your door, right? When everything's going your way in sobriety, that's when it's really dangerous because you want to stay there, right? You don't want to get back to the uncomfortable zone. You want everything to keep going your way, right? Like the radness of it all. And that's just not realistic. And I think that duality to the uninitiated soul is very painful, right? The pain of not being able to stay in perfect, your thought of what perfect pleasure is, right? Like the sunset's going to fade. I think about like when you're sitting there watching like a perfect sunset, right? And eventually it fades away and just it's night sky, right? Like you don't get to sit there and be in that perfect sunset moment for forever in this human life form. Maybe that's just a sliver of the potential of spending eternity with God, which I think it is, right? I think we get to see it all around us all the times. And maybe that's why there's that level of pain, right? And that's where, pain is inflicted upon us. You think about young people who are now adults who were traumatized as children by people seeking pleasure with their form and abusing them and all of these kind of weird things and you really realize that pleasure's a steel bear trap, right? It's only till you really can understand that the true answer to peace and happiness and contentment is the ability to suffer gracefully, right? And I don't mean that in the sense is like a bad trip thing. I mean, think about one of the greater experiences of my life is big powder days snowboarding, right? Big open field powder days snowboarding. You get there in the fresh tracks and you're ripping through your day, and as the day goes, you know that eventually that day will come to an end. And you're trying to get in as much of that day as you can, right? And if you're not in tip-top condition, the later you get in the day, the more likely you are to hurt yourself. And it's just very much, this chase of oh my God, this is so rad. And it's knowing that will pass is where I think where the real joy lies, is to be able to embrace the moment of it now. I look at what a trip sobriety's been, right? 13 and a half years sober. I remember sobriety without Owl, sobriety without my wife. And look at me here now. I'm like a Talking Heads song, dude. And I sit here some days and I saw a picture of Owl when he was 3 or something. And I was like, whoa, dude, look at that dude. Who is that dude? And I remember being super consciousness when that picture was taken. And it's that thing where the true glory of that moment was knowing that it was going to fade and that was painful, that you can't stay there forever. And I think that is, again, why we got to do the work is to understand that we want to stay there forever. or we don't, right? Like the flip for many people, like I'm a pleasure seeker, right? Like my addiction was pleasure seeking to get out of the pain of this like human experience. Many people are trying to get out of the, the opposite of the anesthetized, the pain of the, like, not seeking pleasure, right? Like, I don't know what I'm getting at here. I'm just blessed, man. I'm just blessed to have experienced a painful period of life and have gone through the steps and been able to embrace it and turn that bad period of life into the truly best experience I could have had, right? That I think that's why most people don't want to get sober, dude. Because they don't want to let it go, dude. Self-sabotage is a problem in stress. Self-sabotage is a problem all the time, man. I mean, again, that's why the steps are so important to work, right? It's humbly ask and remove our shortcomings. We were entirely ready to have God remove all the defects of character. Defects of character. Like, what are these defects of character, right? Self-sabotage is a gnarly defect of character, but many people don't have that defect of character. Ambition can be a defect in character too. I mean, look at the workaholics. Look at the people that don't get to enjoy their children because they're busy being ambitious. Like I do think that one of the gifts of my life experience was getting the bad part of life over with and having this part of life be later in life, right? I remember I ran into this guy at the beach one day, this dude I know, and I had Al must have been 2 or 3. I was taking him down to the beach, and he was like, "Oh man, that's such a great period you're in." He's like, my child's going, like, just graduated college or something, right? He's like, this dude's like my age. And I was like, I'm so blessed to be here at this time of my life experiencing this now versus being this age and not being able to experience this, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It all works out how it's supposed to. Waxing philosophical. I don't know, dude. 4 years clean and sober, dude. But YouTube addiction is kicking that technology is a gnarly addiction, dude. Those dopamine hits off of this thing is crazy. It's crazy. Sugar, man. Sugar's the gnarliest, one of the gnarlier drugs we all put in our body, dude. And it comes in these relatively like sneaky ways, like apples. So much sugar in an apple. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. You tell me, what are we getting into on this? Ask me some questions or something. I'm sort of waxing philosophically in a drift. Yeah, you get it, Kimmy. Rather have young kids later in life than be alone and have your kids off. Like, I'm super stoked. When Al's doing that, I'll be out, dude. But what are we getting? What's the sober questions I'm gonna open it up. Just ask me some sober questions and guide this thing. Yeah, suffering's that, pain is the touchstone to spiritual growth, dude, right? It's all about embracing the pain. That's how you get stronger. That's how the athlete progresses, is the pain of it all, dude. But many people are afraid of the pain, so they don't actually live their life, which I think's very profoundly interesting. Like, it's painful sometimes. but you got to go through it. I mean, like, think about how gnarly it must be for like a woman to birth a child, like that kind of pain, and just the reward for that. Like just that whole period of birthing a child, man. So what are we getting into? Anyone? Come on now. Sober Wednesday. It's Sober Wednesday. Caffeine's a brutal drug, dude. Yeah, I would say caffeine's one of the gnarlier drugs out there. Like all the answers to all the addictions are the same. It's all finding out why you're doing it. You're using it as an escapism. Porn addiction's no different than crack addiction's no different than any other addiction. You're using it to escape reality, right? So in order to cure that addiction, you got to go in with God and get thoroughly honest with yourself and figure out why you do what you do, man. If you want to stop doing something, then you got to do the work, dude, to figure out why you do what you do. I've stopped doing meetings since lockdown started, and I feel like, hey, I'd get back to the meetings. I would get back. I started going back to meetings recently, dude. They're great, man. I'll tell you what, dude, you got to be of service. It's all about being of service. It's not about you. You go to meetings to help someone who's new walks in, dude, right? That's the whole point of meetings. It's not really about you at a certain point. It's about the newcomer. It's about you occupying a seat so somebody. I went to this meeting here couple weeks ago out in this little town. There's 3 people there, dude. 3 people, all with like decades and decades of sobriety. And I needed a meeting that night. If those people hadn't been there, I wouldn't have had a meeting, dude. Yeah, I'm willing to help others, definitely. Yeah, you got to go to where they are, dude. That's my reason why you should go to a meeting or get back to them, is like just to go help someone, be of service, right? It's having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. We practice these principles in all of our affairs and carry the message to the alcoholic who still suffers, right? So I think that's having had a spiritual awakening, right? You want to keep that awakening going, right? So whatever got you there, I wouldn't risk it staying out in the weeds too long. Like I didn't go, I had a resentment against AA because of the way it went during the COOF. But I've gotten over it. I'm super grateful to have gone back. I look forward to going to meetings again now. Like I'm fired up. Like Friday night, there's the meeting in town here. It's rad, dude. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Genghis. I think many of us did take a breather, but now it's time to get back in the game because it's a pivotal time right now. Went to a meeting tonight and was sitting in the parking lot gazebo, and a tweaker came rolling up with a shopping cart and was asking everyone for a lighter. That makes sense, dude. Yeah, the COOF was a tough time to be sober, man. Very tough, dude. That's why we do this Sober Wednesday thing. It's why I don't subscribe to the anonymous thing anymore. I don't believe in anonymity. I think anonymity is what got a lot of people killed the last couple of years, man. I don't think we should be silent anymore. I think the last couple of years showed us that, one of the tenets is outside influences. If you don't know what the COOF is, dude, I can't explain that to you. It's not the right. Come on, man. Yeah. You're lucky you had a couple years under your belt, dude. It was touch and go, man. But again, one of the 12 traditions, right, is we don't have any opinions on outside issues. So we shouldn't have shut down. We don't have an opinion on on your health matters, dude. We're alcoholics, dude. We suffer from a life-threatening predicament, dude. We could die at any moment if we're not careful, dude, right? So I really do think that AA abandoned the 12 traditions in the name of the COOF and public health and all that stuff, and we shouldn't have. We should have fought harder to keep our meetings open because people died. But you know, I don't have a resentment about it anymore because it got me to do this, right? It got us, those of us who were understand how valuable sobriety was. He didn't know he was in the right spot. Yeah, he did. I mean, he probably did. You saw those styrofoam cups. You know. That's not an appropriate question. C. Lee, that's not an appropriate question for this live stream, dude. It's sober Wednesday, dude. Yeah, a lot of buildings. Yeah, but that's it. But that's the thing, man, is like we became dependent upon buildings, dude. You know what I mean? That's like where AA went. It's like we became dependent upon buildings. Like, I'll give my friend Pat, who was having those covert meetings in his backyard, dude, where we would park our cars down the street and walk up all covert. Like, it was weird, dude. But that's the thing, is like the fact that the clubhouses didn't remain open and the Al-Anon clubs shut. It was a disaster, dude. Yeah, all meetings outside, dude. Stay the course, dude. Yeah, I like outdoor meetings, man. I'm a big fan. I don't know, man. I definitely like, look, if you're an alcoholic, if you're a drug addict and alcoholic, dude, someone coughing on you is not your biggest worry, dude. It's literally like passing the liquor store or finding a bag of drugs on the street, dude, just sitting there, just waiting for you perfectly, dude. Like, I'm an alcoholic, dude. I ain't worried. Like, my disease is gnarly, dude. My disease is trying to kill me at all times, dude. And there is no injection for that, dude. There is just vigilance and fellowship and the 12 steps and staying close to God, man. That's all I got, dude. Outdoor meetings, you have to get a camping chair. It's a must. That's even too much. I just sit on the ground, dude. I don't care. I got my chair. I do like, there was this gal that started a meeting down at the beach at Zuma, dude. She saved a lot of people's lives, man. But that was the thing, dude. It's Sealy, you're at the wrong live stream, dude. Final warning, okay? It's in the title what this is about, dude. And if you know enough to ask that question, then you know enough what we're doing here on Wednesday night. And yeah. Sobriety's a trip, man. It really is. I guess we all have we all can get there if we're lucky enough to listen. Yeah, what's going on, EL? How you doing, my brother? I don't know, man. It's trippy, dude. The whole thing. I don't know anymore. I just know that it is a daily reprieve, dude. I don't care about surfers. Yeah, just stop being selfish. Go be of service. Be of service and don't paddle out, dude. How about that? Yeah, the goats are good, man. Ups and downs. Wednesdays helped. Yeah. We're here, man. I don't really know where this one goes. It's that thing where you just show up and we roll the camera till 7:30 and however it's supposed to go goes, dude. I throw myself into service, but the stress causes me to stumble. That's pretty worked out. That's pretty self-indulgent, man. There shouldn't be any stress of being of service, dude. No, it shouldn't be any stress being of service. That's having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, right? All right, dude. I was just discussing, yeah, what were you just discussing? Hold on. We were just discussed the last week for an hour and it was hilarious. All right, dude. You guys with the surfing stuff are timed out, man. Bringing me down, dude. Typical surfers just bringing me down, man. All right, man. Let's swing this boat around, dude. What are we getting into? We got I think we're running a little late, dude. I got to go and have dinner and all that stuff. But give me a good sober question to give me fire. Do you have any sponsees? No, I do not. I'm not a big sponsee guy. That's not my form of being of service. I do take phone calls and do all that kind of stuff, but I do not have any sponsees. That's not my strong point. My state I live in building a new skate park for. Yeah, I've done. What's CBT, dude? Yeah. Serenity prayer is powerful, man. Thank you, Far Out Aliens. I don't know, dude. Whatever. I don't know. They're all the same to me, dude. What edition? I don't think it changes much except the stories in the back. I don't really read the stories though. I'm just into the first 164 pages, man. I haven't ventured to the back of one of these books in a while, dude. That's why you should get a sponsee, dude. Cognitive behavioral therapy. I don't know. That sounds like that's just the 12 steps right there. Sounds like it's just some cop out to get away from just doing the work. Cognitive behavioral therapy, dude. I just do the work, dude. Just do the work. Everything else will fall into place, dude. Cognitive behavioral therapy. I think that's called just doing the work, dude. Call me crazy. I don't know, dude. It just seems like there's a lot of people that are just looking for anything but just doing the work and getting a piece of paper out, writing some stuff down and talking to some people about it, dude. See, yeah, it's like all the other things. It's pretty simple. It really is. I mean, it really is simple. Admitted to ourselves, powerless over alcohol, our lives become man. Like the rubber meets the road. Admitted to our God, to ourselves, another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs, dude. Well, how are you going to do that? We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Like, I don't know what I don't know, like, What do you need to do? Cognitive behavioral therapy. That would be 6 and 7. Entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Humbly ask to remove our shortcomings. And then 10, continue to take personal inventory, and when we're wrong, promptly admitted it, dude. Yeah, it's all the stuff's all about like smart, all that stuff's just an end run from just not doing the simple work, dude. It's pretty simple. Like, I don't know, I get why people don't want to do it, because the work's all about facing yourself in the mirror and realizing that you're the root of your own evil, dude, and getting with God and being like, God, like, I need help with this. Like, because, right? Like, that's the whole thing right here, too, is probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. But God could and would if we were sought, dude. You know, it's that, I mean, that's the thing. If you don't want to face who you really are, dude, yeah, do one of the end runs and you'll get loaded eventually. I mean, there's no guarantee that this will keep you sober except for today, one day at a time, right? I don't know, man. I just see a lot of people trying to just shimmy their way around the whole thing, like just cop outs and the whole thing. Like you can't. The only person you can lie to, like that you're just lying to yourself, man. Oh, I'm glad I got you. Glad you got through it, man. Count yourself lucky today. I wouldn't think that you got through it though, dude. See, that's where that folly lies, is like, all you got's today, dude. Got through it, dude. I'd say it's pretty hard. That's like the people that are like, I'm cured. Like, I don't want to be cured, dude. I don't ever want to sit back on my laurels and just be like, I got this. Cause the one thing I know, I don't got this. And you know why I don't got this? Because like I need God to get this for me, dude. Like that's the thing. The minute I think I got this figured out, dude, I'm doomed because I've just turned my back on God. The reason I got to constantly remind myself I'm not cured and it's a daily reprieve is because I need to constantly seek God like a drowning man, dude. I got to wake up every day and remind myself, dude, like I need God today, dude. Self will run riot, man. So no, dude, I'm not looking for any I'm not looking for any like I got it covered or I'm cured or I'm over my recovery or this or that. I'm like, nope. I could fully fall off the ledge tomorrow. Today, I think I'm feeling pretty good about today, dude. Like today, the day we're in, this June 28th day, feeling pretty good about it. Oh, let's see, dude. Every day is a gift. You made a video about me 3 years ago when I was going through my lung surgeries, and you said to pray and thank God for this experience in this life. So thank you, man. Dang, dude. Dude, I remember you, Dylan. Good for you, dude. I'm glad you're with us still, dude. Solid, dude. I meant that I didn't die. Every day is a gift. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, every day is a gift, man. Like, just go right back up there to Dylan Anderson, dude. I remember, dude, when this dude was suffering, man. The lung stuff. Good for you, dude. I hope you can go be of I hope you're being of service to someone else in your predicament, because only you know, dude. God has given you some powerful information there, Dylan. Powerful information, man. I hope you are using it to help other people, man. That is a gift. You don't get that kind of information the easy way, dude. Phew. You earned your PhD in that subject matter, dude. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm thinking back. I now that I remember, it's funny, like people come in on their thing. Yes, I'm skating again and looking into advocating to the youth to not smoke fake weed cartridges and vaping. Ah, gosh, yeah, man, these kids, they have no idea what they're smoking. Good for you, Dylan. You be a strong advocate. Remember, it's a program of attraction, not promotion, dude. Just show them. Just show them how blessed you are, and they'll come along, man. Because that's all we got is the proof of God's glory in our existence right here, right now, man, you know? Those cartridges, bad news, dude. Those things are bad news. But that's a rant for a different live stream, man. Just keep praying, dude. Be grateful for the experience. Thank you for reminding that. That is the whole thing. Is we be grateful for our experience so that we can better, you know, carry the message to those who suffer, dude. We're like, you know, that's the thing. Like people broke tracks before us, like, you know, snowshoed in the tree. Don't worry, we're getting there's cement coming, dude. We don't do. There's cement coming, man. There is cement coming. Gratitude's crucial, dude. Gratitude's crucial. But I think we're coming up on 7:30. If someone could put up the suicide prevention numbers, that would be rad. I know, Kimmy, you do the Canadian one for me, and it's I'm gonna see 1-800-855-TALK. Is it 1-800-855-TALK? I should know by now. I think that's the suicide prevention number in the United States of America, man. Power of prayer, dude. We'll pray on our way out, dude. We'll pray on our way out. Canadians suicide prevention line, 1-833-456-4566. Thank you, Kimmy. Canadian suicide prevention number is 1-833-456-4566 and 1-800-273-8255. That's correct. Thank you, EL. 1-800-273-8255. Those are the suicide prevention numbers for Canada and the United States of America. Look, your life's important. Don't give up on yourself, dude. We haven't given up on you. There's somebody sitting at the other end of those phones who knows what you're going through and will tell you that it's a temporary situation and that your life is valuable. So please pick up the phone. And if you're an alcoholic or drug addict, you can basically type in AA central office, your town in North America, and you'll get some numbers. Pick up the phone, make some phone calls. And if your mental health issue, dude, seek some help, dude. Ask for help. Be of service to those around you by asking them for help. People want to help, dude. People are good, dude. People are good. And when you ask them for help, you allow them to be of service. Like it's a very powerful thing, dude, to ask someone for help because you give them the gift of being of service to you. So with that said, thank you for being here. We'll go out with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Learning to forgive the forgiveness is the key to it all. Right on, Leon the Great. And with that said, good night, everyone. Treat each other with love and kindness. And we just get in the ring tomorrow and swing for the fences. Genghis Khan Jr. And be safe out there in the UK. And everybody just try to carry the message, dude. Thank you and good night.